want to leave the U.S. Attorney's Office, or did it just seem the prudent thing to do based on the circumstances at the time?
No, I didn't think it had anything to do with the circumstances at the time. I proudly stood up and said I was resigning. I had planned to do that several months before because I had 3 offers, two with two law firms and with Mr. DeNaples. And it was about time to go out and try and earn more money to save a little money. So that is the only reason. And again, I have documentation from not only the acting attorney general at the time and the counsel of the president on my distinguished career. My office was rated as one of the best run offices in the country. And the vetting process that I went through with the FBI stands on its own. And I could still be there. I could still be there today if I chose not to leave at that particular time. So now you have the truth.
Of the 3 job offers, why did that one rise to the top? And you've been with the Naples management for 2 years, or you were with?
Yes. Yeah.
What was about that opportunity?
That wasn't the most money. It was good money. And as I told you a few moments ago, I'm from industry. I help build factories and I help build companies. And I thought this was a great opportunity for me to get from behind the desk from the boring everyday legal paperwork and get out and develop something and expand it and be part of a person who expanded this company that creates thousands of jobs.
In that capacity, do you work in northeastern Pennsylvania, or is a lot of what you do you're able to do from Cogan Station?
Yes, Williamsport. That's Cogan Station. It's just 12 miles outside of Williamsport. I could stay home for 2 or 3 days a week, but if there were personnel matters or real estate matters or legal issues that I had to handle in whether it's Dunmore or whether it's farther down south in the state with the landfill, I would travel. But don't forget, as a U.S. attorney, I had 33 counties for which I was responsible for, so the traveling was not that big of a deal.
As U.S. attorney, there are people who are going to be curious about this relationship, but can you point to instances during your time as a U.S. attorney where you were pursuing corruption, your office was pursuing corruption? Could you let us know a little bit about that?
Sure. I ended up prosecuting the last vestiges of organized crime in the Middle District of Pennsylvania. Again, people see this concept of the great organized crime, particularly the mafia, which just isn't there anymore. But I did prosecute a man for organized crime activity, and he went to prison.
I'm curious then, based on what we've been seeing here in Luzerne and Lackawanna counties for the last year and a half, is public corruption, but you're saying that it's not, organized crime is not playing a factor in what we're seeing here in your perception?
No. The organized crime groups that you have to watch now are the Russians, some Asian groups, and these are extremely violent people. But as far as the Don driving around in a big black limousine anymore, those days ended some time ago.
This is a little off topic, but I have to tap into your expertise. Why has the type of corruption that we're seeing flourished in northeastern Pennsylvania?
That's easy because people are freelancing. At one time you had, let's use the drug trade. One time you did have a person in charge of seeing that the drugs were shipped from, let's say, South America to the United States. Then those drugs that were shipped to a person in the United States would distribute that through his or her own organization. Well, the people on the streets got wise and said, why should I be taking all the risk and not make the money? So why should I be picking the drugs up, packaging them, and selling them when I can go to another country or even right here in the United States and buy those drugs myself without all these middlemen and make just as much money as they're making. So it's freelancing.
I want to change gears a little bit, but are there other questions on that particular topic?
I had one question. You made a comment that you don't want federal government to tell you what to do. Can you give some examples?
Sure, yeah. I don't want federal government telling me that I have to buy health insurance. I don't want the federal government telling me that the social programs that they're going to put into effect are best for me. The less federal government we have in our lives, the better off we're going to be. The federal government over the last several decades have tried to take more and more state responsibility. They have no idea how many people in Washington, other than maybe a person, a senator or a congressman, are familiar with what the rural life is in the 10th Congressional District. I would say not many.